Welcome back to another episode up at the Trapper's Cabin. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoy this one. I spent my first night up here and we're finishing up the outhouse. So I got some cast iron cooking on the wood stove and a good long weekend up here. Only spent one night, but I came up here 4 times throughout the weekend. So I've been busy. Please like and subscribe. You can share it with any of your friends, anybody that you think would be interested in this content. But we got some fresh snow last night. We got to unbury everything this morning before we can get going on too many things. Hope you enjoy. Thanks again for watching. Well, it's Friday night of the family day long weekend here in Canada. It is -16 and dropping. It's supposed to be a cold weekend. So I got a bit planned up here for this weekend. But I poked up here on a Friday. Brought a big load of wood and some gear for the weekend. It's hard to see, but I'm gonna unload this because tomorrow got a plan just to ride the snowmobile up right from the house, so it'll be a whole day adventure. And everything will be up here then. But just an update on the Friday night. There'll be more footage to come for the rest of the weekend. Well, we got the boys up here this weekend for the day. Got the big scan again, my sled, and here's the fellas there. So finished a day of riding with a couple buddies. Rode all day, got back up to the cabin here. This is the setup we got going on. So we got everything hung out, stored up top. Candle lanterns are on. Fire's been on all day. I was away from this for 4 hours while I was running the guys back home. And it was still 24 degrees in here. But I got, let's see if we can get a light on this. I got sleeping bag all out and the pillow. Got the moccasins on. We're just gonna cook up some dinner. And it's not too bad with the door wide open if you're cooking, because you open up the dampers. But after that, I'm gonna install that window here tonight so I can have some ventilation. But when I close up the stove, it wasn't too bad. Burns for probably 5-6 hours filled up, and it's probably 25 degrees Celsius, so it's a little warm. Well, we're back into the cabin. Been on the snowmobiles since 8 o'clock this morning. It's 8 o'clock tonight now. I'm all settled in here. I got the welding cloth or welding blanket just hung over the top bunk. That's just to keep a bit of heat out of my sleeping area. Nothing low seems to get too warm at all. It's all just up high where the heat is. But I got my little camp pillow here, and it's a -7 Celsius bag. I don't imagine I'll be in it most of the night, but we got the candle lanterns going. I got a few flashlights here just so you guys can see me. But most of the night's just going to be the glow from the fire and these candle lanterns. I'm going to cook up some pork chops here, I think, and maybe some bacon, some potatoes, and we're just going to settle in for the night. It's been a long day, long weekend, busy weekend, so I'm going to try to get to bed fairly early tonight, and we'll finish the outhouse tomorrow. But yeah, it's been fun. This will be the first night in the cabin. It should be a good one. Well, we survived the first night in the cabin. It's 7:45 right now in the morning. It's about 18 degrees Celsius. I think I went to bed around 10 p.m. last night. Filled the fire right full and damped it right down as far as it would go. I managed to hold the cabin between 18 degrees Celsius and like 22 degrees Celsius actually. I had to put my window in with the vents open to pull that off though. I woke up a few times throughout the night. I didn't put wood in till 4:30 in the morning. There was still a big hot bed of coals and I just threw a couple pieces in. I still haven't put wood in since then, so I'm gonna stoke it right up now and cook some breakfast. Most likely have to have the cabin door open while I'm cooking. Get things hot enough, but we got a big fresh dumping of snow outside, so once I get some food into me, I'll have to get all the shoveling out of the way. And then we'll start on a few projects for the day, get them all done, get back out of here. We'll be back up in a couple more days, coming back up for Family Day Monday, so hopefully we'll get the washroom all done for the family that's coming up. We're gonna get this fire rocking and cook some food. We got fresh dumping of snow. You might not be able to see up there, but I think it's minus 21, 22 Celsius. We got the Pelican covered back up and the cover on the sled, but we had a bit of ice melt with an uninsulated roof. Listen to that all night dripping. But we still have a lot of insulation on the roof. So this is what we got going on today. 2 pieces of bacon for breakfast and some spiced white potatoes. Got some water on the go for hot chocolate. And once I got some room in this cast cookware, I got 3 eggs. And it looks like I'm having pork chops and the rest of those potatoes and some bacon. Go on. So yeah, when you're cooking, the door's got to be wide open. I got the dampers all the way open, or the air intake open. Cooking pretty good. we got the first meal on the wood stove. I'm gonna dial this thing. Right back now. Actually, I'm gonna get some water on the stove, or snow I should say. I'm gonna add it to my leftover water I boiled, and get some dishwater going. Pretty good first meal, cooked from scratch up here. I approve. I must say this is probably the first time I've done dishes outside at minus 11 Celsius. So I still need to get a bunch of cookware up here, but I managed to get the bare essentials. I'd like to get away from the plasticware, but first weekend up here, still getting organized. But I am going to reuse the plasticware, so. I thought I'd shovel off the roof. We're starting to get some good accumulation. I don't know what that is, maybe 16-inch shovel, so pretty close to 16 inches out there. So I'm just making the door stop or door jamb on the inside of the outhouse. I got the door hung. All this will need some fancy notch work for, because I got the Z brace, or I guess the chevron brace on the inside of that door. So there's 2 layers of that fence board where it closes on the inside, so it's going to interfere with the door jamb, so I'm going to have to notch out on both sides a few places. But the top and bottom were easy because part of my bracing was all the way across the inside, top and bottom edge. But along the edges, I don't have 2 layers thick right at the edge, so it'll block most of the light, and then I'll put the windows on it and start on the steel. Well, we're just gonna start packing up, get out of here. This is what I got done. Pretty crude on the tin work. All I had is one set of tin snips that I don't have a license to run. But so we got the side on, missing the corner. I'm running out of steel though that was allocated for this. So we'll see. But we had to rip the whole back piece, which was fun, and then cut it the length. These side ones you just had to take off the corner there. And then I wasn't wide enough with that gray steel that was on the roof, that half sheet, so I had to cut a couple pieces to get an overhang on this side. So we got this side done as well. And then of course the door is on it. It's double hinged, each door. Just loosely got the barrel locked there because I got to finish the sides and the top there. Sun's in the way. We got a front stop installed there because there's just the excess skids sticking out front, so I just put the board that was in the wood shed there. So you'll see this is just loosely sit here, but we got the diamonds cut out. Here's the foam seat, pails in it in the bag. Got a hook up there, hang a light if I have to. But everything was slower than anticipated, like normal. So that's the view. I still need to deal with the latch mechanism here. Of course, the handle on the door. But this is the fancy notch work that I had to do on either side. So that piece needed top and bottom, and then in the center. And same on this, needed top and bottom in the center for the places where the boards or the door was 2 fence boards thick. But we got notched out, it wasn't too hard. Well, that's gonna wrap up the footage for the long weekend. Tomorrow I'm just gonna enjoy it again with my family. But I didn't get as much as I wanted done again, as always, but this trip was actually more or less about spending the first night in it and figuring out cooking on the wood stove and regulating temperature and all that. But I need to unbury this, and I got a ton of snow from shoveling off the roof, so I'm gonna get that all the way from the cabin before I take off today, and then of course get everything away. But yeah, so next time I plan on finishing up the outhouse completely. And then there's some knick-knack stuff in the cabin I want to do. So it's going to be a fairly simple weekend next one. And then after that, the rest of that steel, the plan for it is to do a 10 by 10 covered section of the deck. So the deck is 10 by 20. So half of it over top of the wood stove is going to be covered with just a shed style roof. So I got a bunch 12-foot 2x4s for that, and I just need the 4 posts. And then that'll be the next big project. Probably take 2-3 weekends to do that. But yeah, it was a good one. I enjoyed it. It's quiet up here. Just the odd snowmobile way in the distance. And other than that, did see a moose yesterday on the snowmobile, which was pretty exciting. We don't see a ton of them. But yeah, it ran across the trail in front of us when we were snowmobiling up here. And we watched it for a bit in the woods. Anyway, join me next time and we'll keep on the projects around here. And when the snow gets a little less treacherous to walk through, we'll continue scouting the property for where we want to build my cabin. But this one's been enjoyable so far. See you next week.